भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयामदेवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः स्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः यशेमदेवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। टुगेदर मनो हि द्विविधं प्रोक्तं शुद्धं चाशुद्धमेव च अशुद्धं कामसङ्कल्पं शुद्धं कामविवर्जितं मन एव मनुष्याणां कारणं बन्धमोक्षयोः बन्धाय विषयासक्तं मुक्तं निर्विषयं स्मृतं यतो निरसयस्यास्य मनसो मुक्तिरिष्यते अतो निर्विषयं नित्यं मनः कार्यं मुमुक्षुणा निरस्तविषयासङ्गं संनिरुद्धं मनोहृदि यदा यात्यात्मनो भावं तदा तत्परमं पदं तावदेव निरोद्धव्यं यावद्विधिगतं क्षयम् एतज्ज्ञानं च ध्यानं च शेषो न्यायश्च विस्तरः. Don't slow it down, the pace is nice. नैव चिन्त्यं न चाचिन्त्यम् अचिन्त्यं चिन्त्यमेव च पक्षपातविनिर्मुक्तं ब्रह्म सम्पद्यते तदा स्वरेण सन्धयेद्योगम् स्वरेण सन्धयेद्योगम् अस्वरं भावयेत् परम् अस्वरं भावयेत् परम् अस्वरेणानुभावेन अस्वरेणानुभावेन भावो नाभावयिष्यते भावो नाभावयिष्यते. So we saw naiva chintyam na cha achintyam, and then what? Na chintyam chintyameva cha chintyameva saha atma. Atma is what? Worthy of chinta, and here chinta means enquiry, vichara, not objectification, but it is worthy of achinta, meaning it is not to be objectified, and it is worthy of contemplation, but again it is inconceivable as an object. But that doesn't mean you throw the baby away with the bath water and say, what's the point? If it is not conceivable, then what are we doing here? That's why you should stop attending the class. Maybe some people thought that. And the chintyam they took away from that last verse. Not coming back, So, like this, this is part of the way of presenting. It's like, it's to iterate a very important point, and that point is that as long as one is unsure as a student, that's a very nice place to be. Yeah. Because what happened to the student in the Kena Upanishad? The teacher asks a question. And the teacher said, all those who know Brahman, please raise your hand. One student raised the hand. I know Brahman. You know? And the teacher said, yat tvam janasi, whatever it is that you think you know, dabhrameva, it's as good as garbage, it's as good as, when you sweep up all those little dust bunnies that come, that's what it's as good as. Noonam means just, yeah. Indeed, it is just worth throwing away, nothing there. Whatever you think you know. And of course the other one who was eager to please quickly raised the hand and said, okay, I don't know Brahman. And what did the teacher say? Of course you don't know. That's why you're here. And so what is the correct answer? The correct answer was by another student who said, I will not say that I know, and I will also not say that I don't know. Meaning, I don't know as an object, but I do know as myself. And so that's why, one is kept on the toes by this whole chintyam, na chintyam, 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 na chintyam, na chintyam, chintyam, achintyam. All these things. And then you get chinta about chintanam, This is what the whole thing is. It is supposed to it is supposed to give the mind a good shake and shake out the dust of categories. All the piles, and these piles have to go. These little cubby holes, niches, piles, whatever, the mind has a certain way of putting things, and that, those bins have to go. That is the whole idea, And of course, and another way it kept us on our toes, this verse is about Brahman. We saw briefly what is this Brahman. Kim tad Brahma, it is you. It's the widest possible definition of you. It's not anything but you. It's not anything other than you. You. And how it is you, we saw that. The word Brahman means limitlessly big. And we saw that. Satyam Jnanam Anantam. That Jnanam clinches it. Because if it was just Satyam Anantam, it is something existent and limitless, then we wonder, okay, big deal, limitless, existent, what is the thing, Let it be. Let it be limitless. Let it be existent. So many things are existent. And so many things are eternal, including my wait for a lottery. It's all eternal anyway. So many eternals are vying in time for eternity. So what's the big deal? One more thing, doubting to be eternal. I'm not going to take it, to heart. Why should I worry about one more thing that's eternal and one more thing that's existent? All that doesn't make any difference at all. Because Satyam Anantam, if that were the definition of Brahman, it disincludes you. That is something we have to understand. The word Jnanam, that source of that sentience, immediately, that at once obtains as Aham, that is what clinches the definition. That is what makes it. That's why it's a Mahavakya. It's a sentence that shows that, reveals that you are nothing but Ishvara. That Satyam Jnanam Anantam cannot be anything other than Ishvara. Ishvara with a complex, Jiva. That's all. As though, okay, yeah. Ishvara with a big headache, Jiva. Oh, but I don't have a headache. No, but you give headache to others. So therefore, the definition stands. So, yeah, when this fellow goes, other people get headaches. So therefore, this is what the whole thing is. So Brahma sampadhyate tada. It's like, the Upanishad is teaching us as like a mother teaches a child. The mother says, if you're really, really good today, you will get a candy. Candy sampadhyate tada. Tada means then. When you are very good. Okay, certain conditions. And here what? Here also is a condition. If you stop making, if you stop categorizing all these things, the problem is with the mind. And we have seen how the Upanishad opens. Mana, the second verse is what? Mana eva manushyanam karanam bandha mokshayoho. You can be baddha or you can be mukta. It all depends on how you utilize the mind, how do you use the mind. And therefore, the candy called Brahman is really you. But then it is not that, somebody is, dispensing this candy. It's not also something that you have to, try to get. It's out of reach. Like those, you go to this, some places, these hotels and all have, I don't know what for they have them, but they have them. There is a machine with some teddy bears and stuffed toys, and then you put some money, and then you get this, what is,
Claw.
yeah, and it comes with a clause, pun intended, and then you have to maneuver it with some, little buttons here, and then you have to, if you are able to catch it and bring it up, that stuffed toy is yours. And that machine is designed to give forever vairagya from stuffed toys. It doesn't work. Nobody can do this, that's how it is. So is Brahman like that? That okay, if I stop, all this categorization, then it will come, it's an elusive thing, it's right there, but I can't get it, and it's so frustrating. No, because it is you. It's not something to be gained as an object. That's what it's all saying. So when I stop this penchant and this proclivity for trying to objectify it, then sampadhyate doesn't mean you'll get it, meaning you already have it and you understand it. Got that? Yeah, that's how get means. You know how we say, you got it? Yeah, that's the word get here. It's not getting it. You get it like you get a joke, like that. And what is the joke? That I am ignorant. That's the biggest joke. That I am a jiva. Another joke. Oh, you know what happened today? I'm in a very bad mood. Third joke. I'm sick. Fourth joke. And then what? I'm dying. Fifth joke. It's my birthday today. Sixth joke. All the vikaras. One joke. It's all a big joke. Huge joke. And the only thing is, one doesn't know that it is time to laugh, That's why the Upanishad, like in the audience, in the TV audience, they also don't laugh, And they are paid to come and sit there sometimes, and then they hold a board. What does it say? Laugh. Applause. They are told to react. Laugh. The idea is that if somebody else is laughing, then when you watch the program on TV, you'll also laugh. Very laughable. So it's it's just the Upanishad teaches us that it's a joke and tells us also when to laugh. So this chintyam achintyam is a joke, because the more I try to get it, like that claw, the more elusive it is. When I know that it's all me, Brahma sampadhyate tada. What is Brahman also briefly we have seen, and how Atma and Brahman are what? Very much not related, but one and the same also we have seen. And then the next verse talks about how to do this sampadanam of Brahma. How to get this Brahma, the student must be asking. Sometimes the question is not given, but it is assumed from seeing the connection between one verse and the other. And if there is no connection, and if the Upanishad appears to be jumping, she is not. Certain questions have not been articulated, that's all. So probably the student was confused. You mean I should think about it, but I shouldn't think about it, but it is worthy of enquiry, but it's not an object of enquiry. If I enquire, I don't get anything. If I don't enquire, also I don't get anything. What am I supposed to do? How to stop this mind from its categorical thinking? And then what, this is actually the teaching right here. Mahavakya is here, teaching is here, and then the Amrtabindu Upanishad technically should have been only 6 verses long. Yeah. But then why is the 7th verse there? Because
the Arjuna effect.
The Arjuna effect, very well put. Yeah. Poor Lord Krishna, he is very aware that, it's battlefield, it's not the nicest places. It's not like, they are nice in a hermitage and, they are just eating organic food, and in between the food they are having classes, not the other way around, okay? Yeah. In between the food they are having a few classes, and, there are, deers gamboling in the grass, and then there are, birds chirping. And then, and the students in their spare time are wondering, are the birds giving us one more Upanishad? Is it Taittiriya part 2? Like this, this is not the kind of a, situation. First of all, there is one student, and it's in the middle of the battlefield, in the din of the battlefield. This horrid battle is raging, and Arjuna is insisting on being taught, and poor Lord Krishna keeps trying to, say, okay, Tasmat, therefore is a, attempt to conclude. Tasmat yuddhaya yujyasva vigato jvara bhava, get rid of this fever, this jvara, this samsaric sickness, and come on, okay, this is the teaching, therefore you need to, therefore you need to get up and fight and everything. And then he says, Tat king karmani ghore mam niyojayasi keshava. Another question. Same question. And the same question, 100 ways he puts, and keeps Bhagavan on his toes till the 18th chapter. Yeah, same question. The question is, put in different ways, why can't I go to Rishikesh? From Kurukshetra to Rishikesh, 1 day's journey, yeah. Pack a few chapatis and go. The idea is one way, you don't come back. And his plan was to abandon the battle, go sit under a tree and beg for alms. That's what he wanted to do. Actually, he wanted to go back and become a brahmachari, but he was married many times, and so he could not, you cannot become a brahmachari after you have become a grahastha. So then the only other option is what? Sannyasa. And then, so therefore, the Bhagavad Gita grew to 756 verses long. 664, I think, yeah. And so too, this Upanishad would have finished here. The knowledge has been given completely. And you are that has been told. And how the mind plays tricks, and how that has to be made, nirasta vishaya sangam. All that has been told. But perhaps, the student wailed, and that wail thankfully has been omitted, Or maybe ajabhakshitam. Yeah, what is ajabhakshitam? Manuscripts, they were written. Yeah. One aja. Aja means unborn. Aja also means goat. And why are goat called unborn? Because they assimilated some of the pages of the Upanishad that says you are beyond birth. Therefore Upanishad is also Aja, Atma is Aja, and goat is also Aja. So we could say that the goat made off with it. Or we could just say that there is a silent connection. Maybe there is no question, and maybe the teacher looked at the face of the student and said, okay, this person is not understanding anything. A few other things have to be talked about, and then launches into this next verse, mantra, that we just chanted. And what does it say? It talks about a particular upaya. When the knowledge fails, yeah. Oh, you mean the knowledge can fail? As though, okay? Let me finish. When the knowledge fails to enter completely and be assimilated completely, it's not that the knowledge has failed, it's not that the student has failed, it's just that there are blocks. Yeah, either locks or blocks. Where, because of ragadveshas, there are blocks, there is resistance, there is fear of going further. Whatever the reason, somehow the knowledge has not hit home. It is threatening to boomerang back to the teacher. And that time the teacher has to take a few measures. And what are, some measures are easy. What is sometimes the teacher just gives the student a key. Oh, a key? Key to what? Huh? Goshala. Goshala means what? Cow stable. Why is it called stable? Because going and doing seva there makes the mind stable. Yeah. And then after the seva, comes back and sits down and learns the Upanishad. There is a little more clarity, little more understanding, little more serenity. After spending some time with the cows, one also feels like ruminating over the knowledge. Yeah. It's very relaxing to be around cows. Very nice. So that is one upaya. And what is that cow seva called? Karma yoga. That's an upaya. Ancient karma yoga is cow seva. And you just have to be very mindful. You have to, untie them in the morning, take them to the water, take them to, what is that? Take them to graze in the pasture, in the open lands. Of course, as they are grazing, the mountain lion is also grazing. Yeah. And it has to be saved from the lion. All these things have to be done. It's not easy. So you have to be mindful. You can't just say that, I'm off. You just come back, What happened to your instincts? Or let us insert some microchip in them and they will find their way back. Can't do that. You have to be vigilant and bring them back and then make sure that one of them is not limping and the other one is not sick and all these things. So that makes the ragadveshas, settle down. And then, because of this upaya, what happens? The antahkarana shuddhi is there. Antahkarana shuddhi means the ragadveshas settle down enough for the knowledge to go, for the student to go further with regard to this teaching. Now, that is called bahiranga sadhana. Bahiranga sadhana means an outward practice to calm down the ragadveshas, which is again the mind. Bahiranga sadhana, that is one form of practice. And then what is the other one? The other one is called antaranga sadhana. Naturally, bahiranga, outward facing, because here you are not sitting with yourself, you are sitting with cows and goats or whatever it is, or you are going and gathering firewood for the yajna, or you are doing something, going and whatever the Gurukula seva to the Guru and to the ashram where the teaching is taking place, you are doing so that the mind is, the mind is stable. Stable means what? The ragadveshas, like the cows, are tied in the stable. Yeah, then only the mind is available for the knowledge. And the ragadveshas operate in very, very, not very overt ways, very covert ways. We have seen that. And so that is bahiranga sadhana. And what does bahiranga sadhana do? It gives chitta shuddhi. Chitta shuddhi. And then this is what is called antaranga sadhana. What is antaranga sadhana? Meditation. Inward facing practices. Bahirmukha and antarmukha. Inward facing practice. Antaranga sadhana. Sadhana means a means. And of course the meditation doesn't produce moksha. Yeah, it doesn't produce moksha at all. And what does it do? Because moksha is not a product. What does it do? Yes, makes the mind still. Whereas the Bahiranga sadhana, what was it doing? It rids the mind of ragadveshas. This one stills the mind from the restlessness. The antaranga sadhana, the inward facing practice. Inward practice or internal practice. And then what else is there? The external practice. So the teacher can give a keep to the stable, seeing that the student is not understanding, or the teacher can give another upaya. What is upaya? A remedy for this particular problem of chitta chanchalyam, where the mind moves around a lot. So chitta chanchalata is what is that? Is taken care of by antaranga sadhana. And here one antaranga sadhana is given in the form of upasana. Upasana means meditation. So the meditation is given. Pranava upasana, meditation on Om. Om meditation is given to the student here. And it can be any meditation, it can be any mantra. But here we have to understand Om, because the Upanishad takes Om very seriously. Om is home. Yeah. That is the mantra. Om is home. Om is you. Om is Ishvara. The word Om has been loaded with all meanings, starting from Jiva up to Ishvara, up to Jagat, everything. So really, what is Om? It leaves nothing out. It leaves nothing out. Everything is right there. And so therefore, Om is called Pranava, Prakarshena Navaha. It is always new, because you are ever new, ever fresh. Brahman, that is you, is ever new, ever fresh. Ishvara is ever new. Ishvara never says, I'm bored. No. And so, Pranava Upasana is given. And this is something we have seen, or rather we are seeing right now in the Mundaka Upanishad as well. Dhanur grihitva aupanishadam mahastram sharam hi upasa nishitha sandhayita. And here also sandhayet. Sandhayet, same word. Place. So Shara, here in the Mundaka Upanishad, the beautiful imagery is given. The Dhanuhu, bow, are the words of the Upanishad. Mahastram, this is a great missile. What is that? The words of the Upanishad. And the arrow, Nishitha, sharpened by meditation. Upasaya, Nishitha, Sharam, and then Ayamya, stringing this bow. How? Tadbhavagatena chetasa. Tallaksham Somya Vidhi, meaning, oh dear one, the teacher is telling the students, having strung the bow, which is the message of the Upanishad, the words of the Upanishad, with an arrow, which is the mind sharpened by meditation, hit the target with the mind, and the target is Brahman. Practice that kind of gaining that target. Very nice, beautiful, And then the next verse says, Pranavo hi dhanuhu. Like this, it unpacks each part of this Sharohi Atma, like this Brahma tad lakshyam uchyate. So it unpacks this Drishtanta very beautifully. So Omkara Upasana is the highest form of Upasana. Chanting Om repeatedly not only stills the mind, but also gives the gift of what? Vairagya. That is why it is not recommended for grihasthas. It's not recommended if you have a job to go to and if you have to cook, clean, take care of things in your life. No, don't chant Om by itself. So should we skip this verse and go straight to 8? No. No. Because you can say Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Dum Durgayai Namaha. You can say all those things. You fold the Om into a mantra and don't say Om by itself. If somebody tried like this, and then, a married man, and then because he heard Pujya Swamiji and then, went and even though he was, sometimes when you are told don't do it, what happens? The forbidden fruit is always the mango. It's wonderful. It's very tasty. The thought of it, don't do it means you do it. And there are stories also like that. One one fellow came and said to a guru, I want a mantra. I want a mantra to be invincible. And the guru knew such a mantra, how to avoid, come ahead of everyone. And then he just gave him, because he was a sadhu, he didn't suspect anything. And then another person came and said, oh, this was Hitler or somebody, Hitler. You have given the mantra of invincibility to somebody like, Hitler. And you should not, do this. What are we going to do? Because if he practices the mantra, then he will become, he's already an asura, but he will become a very strong asura. The guru was unfazed. He said, no, call him back, don't worry, I'll take care of it. And then that man came back. Yes, what? I have to get ready and practice the mantra. He says, no, I forgot to tell you. He didn't want the mantra. The guru doesn't want the mantra to work because he has found out something about this man. And so he says, before you chant the mantra, you don't think about monkey. He said, are you crazy? Because otherwise the mantra will not work. He said, are you mad? He told the guru. Why would I think of monkey? I never think of monkey. No, I'm just telling you because this mantra will not work if you think of monkey. So the next day he bathed and he put stripes of vibhuti and he sat down. And then he says, what should I not think of? Oh, no, monkey. And from that time, whenever he sat down, different monkeys came. Rizas came, and then, langur came, and then the other one that, what is that? That furry one came, and then that long one came. All kinds of Ishta monkeys came into his head. And of course, the mantra did not work, correct? Yeah. So to this man, he just started to chant Om, 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 and then came to Pujya Swamiji and said, in fact, both of them came, all the family, the whole family was there. And he said that I just hate life and I don't feel like doing anything. I'm neither here nor there. He may not have said that, but that was the gist of that. And then Pujya Swamiji knew immediately. And he said, are you chanting Om? Stop chanting Om. Yeah, that is the thing. So, Pranava Upasana is, and then it is for sannyasis. Sannyasis better chant Om because otherwise there is, maybe somebody will feel, after taking sannyasa will say, oh, I love samsara. I think I made a mistake. What joy of just being able to just be freely bound in samsara. Yes, I can't even do small things. I have to just, be just in one place and have to keep meditating. How boring and what, how wonderful it would be to just get married and to, all these thoughts may come. So the sannyasi better chant Om and then, and the grahastha better chant Om along with another mantra. So it gives vairagya, safe vairagya. Yeah. So gradually what is the difference between just saying Om and Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya? What's the difference?
Time.
Time, and also first if you just say Om, 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 it's like a drastic effect. Yeah. It's like drastic, it's like overkill. Overkill means the ragadveshas. It's overkill. And then if you keep saying Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Namo Narayanaya, Narayana takes care of it. Because Sagunam Brahma is there, Narayana takes care of it, and then you have a slow, gradual experience, Instead of, hating life immediately as it stands, hating means, sudden vairagya towards the things that you were doing before, engaged in, you will have gradual vairagya. You grow out of it rather than drop. The desire to drop, is more dangerous than the things dropping on their own. So, Om Namah Shivaya makes you outgrow things in your life, whereas just Om makes you drop, but then you can't drop and you can't hold either, so it becomes a very miserable existence. So, that being said, what is so special about this Om? Om is Om. Om, sweet Om, really. And this Om is loaded with everything. First of all, it's an alambana. Alambana means literally that upon which something else leans. I lean on this. It is called alambana. It could be a pair of crutches. It could be a prop. It could be anything. Yeah. So any of those things it can be. But this is something I rely on. And so the Om is the greatest alambana. As revealed by the Kathopanishad, Etad alambanam shreshtham, Etad alambanam param, Etad alambanam jnatva, brahmaloke mahiyate. So this is the most exalted, most superior alambana. Because all the other things that I hold on to, they themselves are shaky. From anything, everything that I can objectify is shaky. It's either sthula alambana or sukshma alambana. So, whether it's a person, a thing, a viewpoint, a belief, an ideology, or a way of being, any of those things that I have adopted, they are all extremely shaky, including Reiki. And so therefore, very shaky because they themselves are, finite. It's like catching hold of a straw for the drowning person and hoping to be, released, hoping to be helped to get to the other side or to come out of the flood with the help of a small straw. It's not possible. So what you rely on must itself be so strong, in fact, it must be able to support you. That is what is called alambana. And Om is an alambana that is not one more alambana in the universe. It's not like here I have my parents and I have my spouse and I have my children, my house, my dog, my cat, my bank account, and then okay, now I'll go for Om. No. It is not on a par with all these things. In fact, it is the only alambana because it includes all these things, and it includes all these things and reveals that all these things upon which one relies, when all these things are what? As though. In fact, all those things are being leaned upon. They are themselves leaning on Om. You are leaning on this, and that's leaning on Om. It's a domino effect. So everything that is finite is leaning on Om. So should I lean on the finite thing or should I lean on Om? Is what a choice. It's a choiceless choice. So therefore Om is Shrestha Alambana because it's the only Alambana. Shrestha, most exalted. So it's the only thing to depend on because it is Bhagavan. And we can't look upon Bhagavan as one more thing in the universe. Om is Ishvara. Ishvara is not one more thing in the universe, it is the only thing in the universe. Isha Vasyam Idam Sarvam. All this that is here is pervaded by Ishvara alone. There is nothing other than Ishvara. So when I rely on Om, I am relying on Ishvara. This is wonderful. And either it gets even better. When I rely on Om, I am relying on Ishvara. And that, what kind of Ishvara? From two standpoints. That Ishvara, in whom the whole universe folds into and then comes out of and is sustained by, that Ishvara. And also that Ishvara who is Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam. In other words, the truth of me. So both Ishvaras are included in Om. Both standpoints. So Om includes me. So Omkara Upasana shows that I am the Alambana. Ultimately, I am the Alambana on which I rely. It's just awesome. Wonderful. Yeah, it's fantastic. It's without a second because you're not relying on something far away and remote. Paroksha. Om is aparoksha. Because the syllables there are U, M. This is what is, makes up the word Om. A, U, M. But you're not supposed to say like that. A, U, no. Unless you have TMJ. If you have some kind of jaw problem, then people will say Aum. Nobody should say Aum. Yeah, that's wrong. You should never come in between the words which are joining to make a new syllable. A plus U, O, Om. And neither should you drag it. Oh, no. No. It's also wrong. Because it has matras. And this is all talked about by the grammarian Panini. What is a matra? What is a matra? Matra means a beat and a time period. So what is a matra for enunciating any syllable, vowel especially? There is a definition. It's all dependent upon U. U? Yes. Say U. Yeah, that is one matra, okay? Don't ask why. Yeah. Yeah, and then say oo. Those were two matras. Now you can say oo. That's three matras. That's it. Ukalah hrasva dirghah plutah. This is a Paninian Sutra. So, how long it takes for you to oo, that's one matra. Oo, two matras. Oo, three matras, pluta. Three, only this. This is all it is. So that's why you cannot say Om sounding like some kind of a, industrial revolution siren. When they newly started the factories, they would have a siren for everybody to go to the assembly line in some kind of a workplace, factories. And then for lunchtime, another, oh, like this, siren. So you can't sound like that. Om, Om, Om. That's enough. That's how long it should be. The only exception is Samaveda, where everything is elongated and sung. So if you are not a Samavedi, then better to say Om, enough. And so here, this A, U, all the components that go to make up Om, one single syllable, the components are very interesting. Because A stands for the waker. Why, don't ask, it's arbitrarily loaded. The Shastra has loaded the syllable A with Vishwa, the individual miserable Monday morning waker. When the waker wakes up, the whole world wakes up, correct? No, come on, the world was already awake. Because weren't the birds chirping before this miserable fellow woke up? That's a Zen cone now. Are the birds chirping unless you hear them? Now we are into the Zen territory. Yeah. So therefore, we retreat from the Zen. Yeah, and then we say that we look at the fact that the waker drags itself out of bed, itself just, what should I say, diminutively and dearly used. Yeah, this fellow drags himself, herself, itself out of bed, and along with the waker is dragged into the awareness, the waking world. Yeah, the waking world, because the waker wakes up and says, stupid alarm clock. The first cognition. Yeah, you had to ring now. Stupid alarm clock. First objectification, correct? Upon waking. So then alarm clock comes to life. I mean, if we could make it like a play, like everything is pitch dark, and the waker sighs and says, oh no. And that waker itself is the source of light, and that source of light goes and envelops the alarm clock before mercilessly pushing it to the ground. Kills the alarm clock. Then drags himself, herself out of bed, and then say, oh, what time is it? What do I have to do today? And then as soon as the thought comes, what do I have to do today? The waker has objectified the office, the job, how to get there. And then the waker has a few choice, thoughts that cannot be repeated about the boss. And now the boss is also objectified. And the commute is objectified because the waker has cursed the commute. And the commute is objectified. So you see, everything is lighting up. And where is the light coming from? The waker. So the waker and the waking world are non-separate from one another. In fact, the waker upholds the waking world, and even if you cannot see that immediately, just take my word for it. Yeah, right. But you take at least this much, that the waker, along with the waker, the waker's world wakes up. At least you take that much for now. The waker's world wakes up. Correct? The world wakes up for the waker. But really, the Upanishad goes beyond a single waker to make the waking experience, to see that the waking experience, the waker's experience is universal. And the truth of the waker, the content of the waker is nothing but Atma. Paramatma, Ishvara. So this Ishvara plus a few mumbles, grumbles, wakes up and drags in a world into the spotlight that was hitherto asleep. You see? Beautiful. So the waker drags in the waking world, and the waking world cannot remain on its own. It has to be cognized, it has to be owned up, plus it has a maker. So the waker drags in the waking world along with its maker. Unlike where did this go? Unlike the pot, which pot? Aristopot. Unlike the Aristopot, when you go and purchase a pot from the market, does the potter come with it? Thank God. Yeah, otherwise you have to build another house for all the various objects. All their makers come. Pot maker came and furniture maker came and they, his wife and her husband and this one and that one and children and cat, dog, everything. You can barely take care of yourself. And then whatever you buy, the maker comes along with. Thank God. There is bhinnata, means there is a separation between the maker and the made. Unlike the world, the universe is the only exception to this rule. The universe, the maker of the universe comes along for free with every object that you purchase. You have purchased the truth of that object. Ishvara comes with it. Because there is nothing finite, really speaking. That what is finite is only name and form, word and meaning. But there is nothing really finite, talking about it like that. And if there is nothing finite, then what is infinite about the Jagat is Ishvara. So Isha-vasyam idam sarvam, the whole universe is just a manifestation of this Ishvara. And so the whole waking world drags in the maker. And Ishvara says, wait a minute. No, doesn't say. So this is one syllable, Imagine, just one small The first sound after the mouth is closed. Mouth closed, sleeping. Sometimes people sleep with their mouth open. But that's neither here nor there. Come back. So mouth closed means the whole, the consciousness or the awareness is into, the mind is into a causal form. So the consciousness is there, but since the mind has retreated to a causal form, it is unable to recognize this consciousness. The consciousness is there, but it's not recognized. So that's equivalent to chup, the mouth closed, maunam, because in sleep there is no activity. Of course, you may be kicking the person next to you out of the bed, but that's not considered activity. Yeah. In sleep, no activity, no conscious activity, no free will, nothing is happening. Your world is at a standstill. And from there, you wake up, rub your eyes, it's like saying, the mouth opens. And with the mouth opening, the whole world wakes up with you. Think about the power of those words. The whole world wakes up with you. Oh my God. And then here, that's why in the Hindu tradition, really there is no problem there is with self-esteem. This is a big boost to self-esteem. That I am the waker, and along with me the world also has woken up. So the whole world wakes up. And the world wakes up, even if you say my world wakes up, what is your world without you? Number one. And all the objects in your world, what is the truth of them? Ishvara. They are just manifest forms of Ishvara. So the Vishwa, the miserable waker, brings in what? Virat, the waking world, all in one word. Yeah. Ooh. What is oo? Don't say oo kalaha hrasva dirgha. No. Oo is dreamer. The dream experience. These are all universal experiences purposely taken. Dream experience. The dream is a potential. It's a recreation of memory, knowledge and desire. That's what it is. Your dream. Same thing with Ishvara. Oh, Ishvara has memory? Yes. Better have memory. Of what? Of the past cycle of creation. Ishvara has desire? Yes. It's uninhibited, however. Ishvara's desire is nothing but the clamor of the jivas. Create me because I can't be disembodied and enjoy these desires. I have so many desires. Make me into something. Now. That's what it is. Saha akamayate. And Ishvara has knowledge? Question mark? You are asking me that? Question mark? You know? Of course, Ishvara is knowledge. You can't say Ishvara has knowledge because Ishvara doesn't have knowledge like, the Jiva has knowledge. All in a tiny little brain, shrinking, because due to environmental and other factors of not being used. And, an ever shrinking brain. No. Ishvara has knowledge without a mind, without a brain. That means all knowledge. Here, I don't know where I put my keys. I don't know where I put my child. I don't know what happened. But Ishvara doesn't have a head. That's why Ishvara is ahead. Okay? Yeah. So same things. Memory, knowledge, desire makes your own dream, are the raw materials for your own dream, because you can never dream something that you have not seen or you don't know. Same with Ishvara. The whole Jagat is Ishvara's projection. Like even in your dream, you can project a whole universe. So when you say dreamer, so your own dream world is dragged in, but really speaking, who really supports your dream world? Who does? Ishvara, naturally. Ishvara supports your dream world. Even though you say, I support it, then how come you cannot lengthen your pleasant dreams and shorten your nightmares? Nightmares are nightmares because they go on and on and on and on and on. They are tirelessly still going on. And when you win the lottery by mistake, even in the dream, before you cash it, you wake up. The prarabdha is not there even to enjoy the money in the dream, even in the dream. And so Ishvara is there, definitely. So Ishvara, your dream is an uninhibited manifestation of your own creative prowess, but it is within the larger law of Bhagavan. So your dream and your dream world, that is populated by your memory, your desire and your knowledge, lives in Ishvara's manifesting potential called Hiranyagarbha. Where is Dottie? Yeah, she's there. So, this is Hiranyagarbha, Dottie's favorite topic. Yeah. This is what it is. The potential to manifest is this is what it is. And same thing, the dream is a potential to manifest what you know, what you remember, and what you desire. Same thing there. So the dream world, along with the power to manifest, Ishvara's power to manifest. So the dreamer is called Taijasa. And from the collective standpoint, the potential to manifest is called what? Hiranyagarbha. Vishwa, Virat, Hiranyagarbha, Taijasa. Hiranyagarbha, Taijasa are within the syllable U. You just say U and both of them come running. Hiranyagarbha and Taijasa hand in hand. Or they should come running to the memory. Okay? Yeah. Then what else is left? Is what? Sleeper. Where everything comes to rest. So the individual sleeper is not sleeping in a vacuum. Even what time you wake up every day is decided not by the alarm clock but by the prarabdha. There was one guru, a friend of Pujya Swamiji's in Rishikesh, and he just had one shishya, and once Pujya Swamiji went to him and then he said, "Oh, where is that shishya?" And he called the shishya to make tea for Swamiji, and the shishya was found to be sleeping very happily in his room in the ashram. And then and that other shishya, another person, whoever was visiting, he had only one shishya, but whoever was there in the ashram or whoever was visiting, came and said, your student is snoring in his room. And everybody expected the guru to get angry, like, okay, guests have come. And he knew that the guests would be coming at 4 o'clock and this fellow has gone off to sleep. But the guru said, one sleeps because of prarabdha. Because that other person from the ashram said, shall I wake him up? No, please don't do that. If he is enjoying sleep, it's because of his good karma. Let him enjoy the sleep. So that's what it is. So sleep is, you think you are sleeping and you are waking up. No? Yeah. Sleep is it's a blessing from Bhagavan. Don't give that excuse the next time you nod off in class. It's a blessing from Bhagavan, and so wake me up later. Yeah, that's why I don't wake up anybody. Yeah. You will never see me, wake up people. In places like Kailas Ashram and places like that, I heard, I have not had this experience myself, I heard that the teacher would just ball up small pieces of paper, just tear off little pieces. And apparently the previous acharya, not the one who is the head now, had a impeccable aim, and it just hit the nodding student. And then he would pretend nothing had happened and continue with the thing. And then again somebody else sleeping, while teaching, he would not interrupt the class, just keep going like that. And see, I don't do that. Yeah, I don't do that because I recognize this. Pujya Swamiji told this story and I recognize this. Yes, it's your own prarabdha that you sleep. Anybody sleeping, it's their own prarabdha. And if they sleep in class and miss the knowledge, better luck next time. That's all we can say. Or please have some coffee. That's all. That's all we can say. All this is to illustrate what? Sleeping. That sleeping experience is not happening in a vacuum either. How long you sleep, when you wake up, when you go to sleep, is all just, there is the hand of Ishvara there. And it is comparable. It's comparable to Laya. Like the dream is comparable to the potential to create. And the waker is comparable to the world in which there is a lot of activity, the waking world, the manifest Jagat. The waker is comparable to the waker's experience. The individual waker's experience is comparable to the manifest Jagat. The individual dreamer's experience is comparable to Ishvara in the process of manifesting. The individual sleeper's experience is comparable to Ishvara in repose, without any Jagat. No activity, no duality, nothing. So this is what is Om. And then how to meditate upon this Om, and what to do and what not to do, we will see on Saturday. Or when is it? Friday. Yes, Friday we have a class. Correct. So we'll see that on Friday. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamadachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. It's not wrong. It's just, you can't say, you don't have to even say it's wrong. If you concur with what is taught, you please practice that. That's all. How seriously should we take our dreams? It's okay. When you take it as a prarabdha, that's gone. Yeah. How do we keep categorizing? Oh, I think she means to say, how do we stop the categorizing of this mind? Keep saying Om Namah Shivaya. Okay? Yeah. Anything else I have missed? Okay. All the best.